Good morning. Welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church West on this frigid first Sunday of January here in Brookfield, Wisconsin. It is good to be together on traditional territory inhabited at various times by the native peoples of the Ho-Chunk, Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Menominee, Peoria, Seven Council Fires, and Miami Nations. We recognize the history of violence, cultural destruction, and displacement that continue to impact Native communities today. May we be humbly grateful for the privilege of living here. As an anti-racist faith community, we acknowledge our need to address the racism which continues to lead to the violent deaths and oppression of Jews, Black, and Indigenous people, and other people of color. Anti-Semitism, racism, and colonialism continue to perpetuate inequalities, injustices, poverty, and exclusion in our society and our neighborhoods, and it is our work to dismantle these systems of oppression. As a welcoming congregation to gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, and queer plus people, we continue to address ongoing homophobia, violence, and unfair legislation targeting them. With this awareness close to our bones, we commit ourselves to the values of equity, racial justice, and right relations. My name is Kathy White, and I serve on UUCW's Board of Trustees. My wife, Kathy, and I feel blessed to be part of this caring community where we can be ourselves and live the mission statement in community with all of you. As I continue to engage in difficult conversations with people on both sides, I have had opportunities to talk about our church's practice of inclusion, justice, and spirituality based on love. We truly mean what we say and work together to live our values here in the wider community. Not long ago, I switched from a service provider who continually used racist and homophobic remarks with me even after my many attempts to dialogue with them. This decision felt like I lived my values rather than merely giving them lip service. Our congregation expands beyond these walls, as each week there are 50 to 60 folks joining us virtually. From many places at different times, we are creating a community of companions who choose to walk life's path together. So wherever you are right now, whatever your age or color, whatever your gender identity, whatever your chosen beliefs, whoever you love, you are welcome here. I say it again. It's so good to be together. And here's a bit of housekeeping. This is a multi-generational community, and there are a variety of ways for all ages to participate. Our nursery is open today for ages 5 and under. Today is an intergenerational service, so young people will remain in the sanctuary. And for those who like to be busy while listening, there is a worship exploration table over there, filling up, where there are some activities for you to do. If you're a newcomer here, I hope you picked up a flyer on the way in that tells you all about what to expect and how to connect. We'd love to have you fill out our welcome side of the blue paper, which I don't have handy to, I do, blue paper, which was included when you came in the door. And then also you could stop at the newcomers table in the foyer and talk with somebody. If you're online and want more information, please email us at visitor@uucw.org. There's a time for coffee, tea, and conversation for everyone following the service. We know that every space or noise level doesn't suit everyone. So find a comfortable place to hang out here in the community room, in the library, and then challenge yourself to talk to someone you've not met. Let's continue to build community together. I want to highlight just a couple things that's in your order of service on the announcements page. And I recommend you read them all and get involved. That's how I got to know people here. I got involved with something. But anyway, I'm going to emphasize number 2. The UUCW orientation sessions are coming up. If you're new or a long-timer returning, that might be just what you're looking for, January 11th and 18th, and the contact information is right there for you. And then number 7, this was going to happen in the fall, and it didn't, but it is happening now, an all-congregation potluck and workshop on Friday night. And that will be from 6 to 6:45. Then there's a 2-hour program. There's going to be programs for the children and nursery available so that many of us, so most of us and all of us could really be there. And it's a way of welcoming again Reverend Jill and telling our stories, and the representative will be here from Regions, so you can read all that in the announcement. So with all this said, let's settle in to a time of worship together.
Good morning. Shall we take a moment to pat ourselves on the back for getting here on a very, very, very cold day? That's right. Hardy Midwesterners we are. My friends, we have arrived. We are here in this new year. We have crossed the boundary of time into the next year with all its resolutions and plans and schedules ahead of us. Let us pause for just this moment before we move boldly onward. Let us pause to hear the breathing of those around us, to feel their presence in this room, to know their presence in our lives. Let us pause to consider the trees, their branches stripped bare, their elegant architecture on display. Let us pause to feel the spirit of life and love that ties us to each other, that winds its way through our very bones and settles in our hearts. Before we move forward, armed with resolutions that may shortly be forgotten in the day-to-day of living, let us notice what it is that remains every year, every day. What exists beyond schedules and months, beyond time. It welcomes us to life, not just at the start of the year, but every day. And let us answer, Amen. And now I invite us all to rise in body and or spirit, and we'll sing hymn number 350, The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time.
Ceaseless flow of endless time, no one can check or sway. We'll view the past with no regret, nor future with dismay. The present slips into the past, and dreamlike melts away. The breaking of tomorrow's dawn begins anew today. The past and future ever meet in the eternal now, to make each day a thing complete shall be our New Year vow.
When we light our chalice, we bring the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith to life together. I now invite Kathy to light our chalice as we speak the chalice lighting words together. They are printed in your order of service. We light our chalice as a symbol of our faith, centered in love. We light our chalice as a symbol of community, for the warmth of gathering together. We light our chalice as a beacon of hope, with open hearts, minds, and hands. We enter now a time for sharing of joys and sorrows that touch our individual lives. One way we express through ritual the many ways that we care for one another. In a moment, you'll be invited to come to the mic to share aloud. If you have something you'd rather not share aloud, you can use the QR code on the order of service or the share side of the blue slip. Please know that at any time during the week, you can use the link in the e-news to let us know what's on your heart. And what you share this morning is only for the ears of those gathered now. It will not be in the posted video of the service or shared in our e-news. So now, please come to the mic to speak if you choose to, or raise your hand and an usher will bring you a mic. I will light a candle for you, and after each sharing, I invite you all to respond with me. We hold you in love. You can form a line to either side, so please come. To folks attending online, please know that we hold you in love as well. Now let's pause and breathe together and hold all that's been shared in the love of this community. Will you join me now in a spirit of prayer or meditation? In this new year, may we leave behind the weight of unfulfilled resolutions, of unrealized dreams, and of unrealistic expectations. In this new year, may we carry kindness, gentleness, and hope that hold us through even the hardest days and the most daunting risks. This year, may we carry space for all of our flaws, all of our longings, and all of our love, remembering that the truly daring adventure of life is not to be better, better, best, but to show up wholly, authentically, and lovingly as ourselves. May we carry these intentions and carry one another into the new year. May it be so. I now invite you to remain seated, and we'll sing together hymn number 391, Voice Still and Small.
Still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain.
Our reading is a wisdom story from the Zen Buddhist tradition. Two traveling monks reached a river where they met a young woman waiting to cross. Scared of the current, the young woman asked if one of the monks could carry her across. One of the monks hesitated, but the other quickly picked her up onto his shoulders, transported her across the water, and put her down on the other bank. She thanked him and then departed. As the monks continued on their journey, the other monk became obsessed and preoccupied with his own thoughts. Unable to hold his silence any longer, he spoke out. Brother, our spiritual training teaches us to avoid contact with women. But you picked that young woman up and onto your shoulders, then carried her across the river, breaking this most sacred rule. Brother, the second monk calmly replied, this happened many, many miles back. It was I who carried the young woman, and it was I who placed her down on the other side over an hour ago. So why, brother, are you still carrying her?
Well, here we are, dear ones, gathered just a few days after New Year's Day. We have indeed crossed from 2024 into the new year 2025. But as our call to worship invited us to do, let's pause here before rushing forward into this new one. Let us pause for just a moment in the ceaseless flow of time, and let's take an opportunity to look back and reflect on the past year, and to also look forward into the new one. Let's take a moment to look both ways. This notion of looking both ways calls to mind for me two things. First is how the name of this month we are in, January, comes from the name of the Roman god Janus. The god Janus is depicted as having two faces, facing opposite directions, and he's associated with gates, doors, and beginnings. It's interesting to me that this idea rose to the level of a god in Roman mythology. And second, I also notice how we sometimes say, look both ways before you cross, in tender care for small people, learning about how traffic works, right? Look both ways, we say, with a loving intention that's about equipping them for what traffic and life may bring their way. We're trying to help them develop mindful awareness as a tool they can use to keep themselves safe. A pretty important one. So let us look both ways together this morning here with that same intention of care and mindful awareness. As we look back on the past year, I invite us to first ground ourselves in deep compassion for ourselves. Let's lean into the Unitarian Universalist commitment that all people have inherent worthiness and that you are no exception. I invite you to locate that center, that still small voice, where you know yourself to be precious and holy, just as you are. From this centered place, we might give thanks for all that has carried us forward through the ceaseless flow of time to this very moment. And from this grounded place, we can also consider what we might want to let go of from the past year. As I've been pondering this threshold time, I've had in mind the metaphor of carrying things on a journey, as in our Zen wisdom story that Deb shared with us. And as the little tree carried things himself. I imagine looking backward at a bag that I've carried throughout the year, and also forward at the bag I'd like to carry through 2025. When I picture the one behind me, I can see it as a somewhat unwieldy and misshapen duffel bag that I'm kind of dragging along, ka-thunk, ka-thunk. This might be a little dramatic, but what it tells me is that I've been carrying, or rather dragging, some things that I don't need, things that make my journey harder. When I envision the 2025 bag, it's a lighter, more well-organized backpack. It fits well, it's got sufficient provisions, trail mix, water, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for when I get to a place with a good view. When I think about what's making the duffel bag unwieldy, I think first of the things that are not mine, like the monks in our story. Like the monk, going for miles obsessing about what his companion had done. I know I have carried things that are not mine. These include old stories about myself that are no longer true, perhaps have never been true. And I wonder if you might be carrying stories that are not yours too. Stories that may have come from others who did not truly see you as the whole person that you are. Or stories that came from oppressive social systems like patriarchy and racism or ableism that work against our full humanity and flourishing. Approaching with compassion, I know there's a good reason we learn and carry these kinds of stories. That's often how we keep ourselves safe moving through the world. But I also know that there are certain stories that we don't need anymore, that are making that duffel bag extra heavy. I know that there might be stories you don't need anymore, and it might be time to put them down. Now, maybe the bag metaphor does not work for you, or maybe you see calendar divisions as arbitrary. Nevertheless, I invite you to consider whether there's something you'd like to let go of as we move into the new year together, to stop carrying around with you. And I invite us to also hold the truth that some of us have experienced losses or other hardships in the last year. There may be so much that we are not at all ready to let go of. For some of us, letting go is simply not what's happening right now, and that is beautiful and fine too. And so it is with an intention of mutual care and support that I invite us into this ritual of letting go. As we move toward the ritual, you should have a little piece of paper and something to write with. If you don't have one, please raise your hand and an usher will bring you one. I see one right here. And you might share a writing utensil with a neighbor if you don't happen to have one. These pieces of paper are water soluble. When placed in water, they will dissolve and disappear. Folks online, this is a good time for you to get a piece of paper and something to write with as well. For folks in the sanctuary, in a few minutes, I'll invite you to come forward to one of the 2 stations on the floor where Kathy and I will be. As you come forward in a line, you can each place your piece of paper in the bowl of water to let it dissolve and disappear as a symbol of letting go of something. Now let's take a deep breath together. Let's take a couple minutes to just reflect. What is something that's been holding you back? Is there something in your life that's become an obstacle? Might be an object, a resentment, a worry, a habit, or an old story. It could be something very small. It could be something very big. Is there something that no longer serves you well? Something you want to leave behind and to release from yourself? And now I invite you, if you choose to write on your piece of paper that thing from the past year that you would like to let go of. You can use a word or 2 or 3 or 20 that describe the thing you're letting go of. No one will see what's written on your paper, just you and the universe. Folks online, after you have written on your piece of paper, I invite you to get rid of it in any way that feels good to you. You might tear it into pieces or crumple it up and throw it into recycling, whatever works for you. For those in the sanctuary, for the next several minutes when you're ready, after you've written on your paper, we invite you to please come forward to one of these two water bowl stations where you can release your paper into the water, where it will be received and then dissolve away. May the burdens that have been released today cease to trouble us. May they be washed away by the cleansing, purifying power of water. And may each of us know a greater peace on our journey forward. May it be so. And now let's join our voices together in singing Loosen, Loosen.
I'll sing the song a couple of times. Join in when you feel like you're ready. Loosen loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go.
Good morning. UU Church West Split the Plate program is one of outreach and generosity. Each month, we give half of all undesignated offerings to a nonprofit organization to help us live our Unitarian Universalist values, pursue the goal of social justice, and serve our community. To provide a higher quality of life for people of all abilities by transforming Greater Milwaukee into the most universally inclusive recreation destination in the world. That's the aim of the Ability Center, affectionately known as TAC, our Split the Plate partner for January. As we talk about TAC today, expansion is going on at parks and other venues in the Greater Milwaukee area where people play and train to be active. One of their terms is temporarily able, as they provide everything from ramps to ice sleds so everyone can play on the ice at Wilson Center or cool off at Bradford Beach. Red Arrow Park is another location that's been modified for more people to use. Rather than focusing on what a particular person might not be able to do, TAC figures out a way for everyone to be active. TAC is a nonprofit supported by an impressive list of supporters, and UCW is proud to be a new name on the list. Check out their website, the Ability Center, to learn more. And to donate today, I think it's going to change, yes? Go to UCW's website donate tab and select Split the Plate from the menu provided, or text your donation to 73256 or mail your donation. There's the information. And next week we'll be joined by Damian Buckman, who's the Executive Director of the Ability Center. We thank you most sincerely for your support. We'll now collect the offering.
Now I invite you to speak with us the words for dedicating our offering, which are found in your order of service. To the work of this community, which is to ground ourselves in love and joy, and to act for inclusion and justice, we dedicate ourselves. These are offerings. And now I invite us all to turn our gaze forward into the new year as this gathered community, breathing together, present together, crossing the new year threshold together. I invite you to remain seated and join me in a responsive reading. The words are printed in your order of service. This January day is another day dawning, the sun rising as the sun always rises, the earth moving in its rhythms, with or without calendars, to name a certain day as the day of new beginning, separating the old from the new. So it is. Everything is the same, bound into its history as we are bound ourselves. Yet we stand at a threshold, the new year, something truly new, still unformed, leaving a stunning power in our hands. What shall we do with this great gift of time this year? Let us begin by remembering whatever justice, whatever peace and wholeness might bloom in our world this year, we are the hearts and minds, the hands and feet, the embodiment of all the best visions of our people. The new year can be new ground for the seeds of our dreams. Let us take the step forward together onto new ground, planting our dreams well, faithfully, and with joy. Blessed be. Now let's rise in body and or spirit, and we'll sing together hymn number 16, "'Tis a Gift to be Simple."
Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
Friends, thank you for pausing in this space that we make sacred by our presence to look both ways together this morning. With the dawn of this new year, may we build upon a vision of love and liberation, deepening our commitments to each other and to the wider community. Let us be vulnerable and courageous as collaborators in creating a more loving and just world. May you know yourself to be held by this community and by a love that will not let you go. And may the bag you carry into 2025 be light and well provisioned. Blessed be.